Is Vince McMahon back as a part of WWE Creative? That is the question that so many fans in the IWC are asking themselves these days. Specifically because Vince McMahon has forced himself back into the company that he retired, quote unquote, retired from last year. Ever since January when he came back to help WWE get sold. Now, WWE is being merged with USC under Endeavor. And since then, Vince McMahon has made a lot of power plays to give himself complete autonomous control of WWE. And there are reports saying that Triple H has informed the talent that he is still in charge of WWE Creative, and Vince McMahon himself, in an interview, he said that he would be a part of the major booking decisions, major creative decisions, not so much in the weeds. And for me, at least for me, that means Triple H is still booking the week-to-week show. The week-to-week shows, excuse me. He's still making the quote-unquote important decisions on how to get there and how to get that character development, storyline development. And with the draft, how it played out, we got over a dozen of people moving up from NXT onto the main roster. I believe that's a Triple H move. And as a matter of fact, the position that the current narrative actually that the IWC is running with is that if something is not entertaining, if something doesn't work on Raw or on SmackDown, it's because Vince McMahon has his paws on it. Vince McMahon's calls, his decisions, he rewrote the script. That's why it's not as entertaining. And whenever it does work, whenever it is entertaining, that's a Triple H move. That's Paul Levesque all the way. So just based on that, Triple H can't lose. Based on that, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paul Levesque has managed to put himself in a position that not even Tony Khan can at this point in his career. So kudos to that. But back to the bigger question. Is Vince McMahon back as a part of WWE Creative or not? And the real answer to that is he is. He is back. He is pretty much in full control. Not of creative. That is still, I believe, this is just my belief. I do not have any facts about this, but my belief is that Triple H is still completely in charge of creative, but other than that, Vince is running that company. But with that said, the bigger question is, if Vince McMahon is back, if Vince McMahon is back as a part of WWE Creative, so what? So frickin' what? So fucking what? We're talking about a scripted show. We're talking about entertainment. We're talking about sports entertainment. We're talking about an escape from our everyday lives, where this is not a social issue or a medical issue or a political issue. Nothing like that. It's nothing like that. If it was something like that, then yes, go out, march, hijack, boycott, whatever you gotta do. Those are bigger issues. We're talking about a professional wrestling company. Just a wrestling show. And when fans go on social media and become keyboard warriors, just like I have done in the past, I'm not going to exclude myself from that. But when they do that over a wrestling show, this is third world problems, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a damn wrestling show. And first of all, there's way too much talent on screen. Way too many people working their asses off, blood, sweat, tears, whatever you want to call it, behind the scenes. Every single night, WWE, every single event. There's way too many people out there working their asses off for WWE. For the IWC to be as stupid and as childish to just try and just boycott and cancel WWE based on their opinions on one man. Now, if it was a one-man show, if it was a one-man company, then yes, by all means, attack all you want. It's one person's prerogative. But WWE is a company of thousands of people, and they do not deserve to get bashed every single time simply because you can't get over Vince McMahon. As simple as that. We're seeing it currently in June. In June, we have The Flash. In the movie industry, we have The Flash, one of the biggest movies of the summer. And I can already see it right now. There are fans out there that will not watch this movie, that will encourage other people to not watch that movie simply because of their opinions of Ezra Miller. When you have guys like Andy Muschietti who directed the movie, you have Michael Keaton and Sasha Calle and Ben Affleck and so many other talent on screen and behind the screen that work their asses off and do not deserve that kind of treatment. But will they care? No, because like I said, in today's current sensitive society, people, fans, whatever you want to call them, they go to their extremes. If you want to hate something, hate it 100%. If you want to like something, like it 100%. There's no middle ground. There is no room for analysis. Individual analysis. There is no self-awareness. Because they've made mistakes, so have we. So have we. But forgive me. You want to go on the IWC, you want to go on Twitter and make yourself feel better by being a social justice warrior and just calling people out on their shit. On a wrestling show? Come on. On sports entertainment? Come on. Come on. And it's pretty, what's the word? I just feel sorry for any analyst, for any pundit out there that sits down and watch Raw, sits down and watch SmackDown, sits down and watch Dynamite or any wrestling product, any show whatsoever, and instead of actively trying to enjoy the show, they sit down with the mindset of, okay, let's see how they mess up now. Okay, let's see what can I find that I can call out on Twitter so I can get so many likes, so many responses from all these other fans that do agree with me. Just so it makes my day that much better. Because every single day that I have is way too pathetic that I have to go and look towards my escape. Raw, SmackDown, wrestling as a whole, sports entertainment. Just so I can call them out on some bullshit just to make myself feel better. That's pathetic on the part of the wrestling's analysts and the critics and whatever. And all of that. As simple as that. You don't like the fact that Vince McMahon is back? Don't watch the show. You don't like the show itself? Don't watch the show. You not watching the show, you not interacting and not talking about Raw, SmackDown, or Dynamite on Twitter speaks a whole lot more to how you feel about the show itself rather than you going on social media and critiquing the show. Because much like wrestlers out there say, it's better to be loved or hated. You can't be in the middle ground. If you're in the middle ground, you're dead. So with WWE, it's the exact same thing. They either love your show or they hate your show. But if they don't talk about your show, that hurts them the most. So with that said, those are my opinions. I'm watching the show as an escape. I'm watching the show because Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed is a great match and they are fantastic wrestlers and they're working their asses off to entertain me. And I'm not thinking about Vince McMahon in the back of my head watching the show, watching them perform. They shouldn't be carrying that baggage. It's not on them. It's simple as that. You might have a different opinion. Okay, leave it in the comment section below. I know you do. Leave it in the comment section below. So with that said, I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk. Tune in later on tonight to the USA Network for NXT. Let's see how they start wrapping up some of the storylines for the show that has gotten a ton of call-ups. So with that said, I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.